What if I told you this player could be a future Hall of Famer? That's right. I'm talking about the number 1 overall pick in this year's NFL draft, Bryce Young. The Panthers traded up to the first overall pick earlier this offseason to go and get their guy at number 1, and did just that. Now, the last time the Panthers had the number 1 overall pick was back in 2011. And if you don't remember, they took a pretty good quarterback that year as well. Now, with that being said, Cam and Bryce are like comparing apples to oranges, but Bryce is being compared to another Hall of Fame quarterback that we'll be going over later in this video. Now, coming into college in 2020, Bryce was the backup to Mac Jones. Before jumping onto the scene in 2021 during his sophomore season, he started 15 games while throwing for almost 5,000 yards and 47 touchdowns, which are both Bama records and proving that the kid could see the field like none other despite his 5'10" height. Now, despite losing to Georgia in the national championship game, Bryce did walk away with the Heisman Trophy that year with those record-breaking numbers, and moving forward into 2022, although his numbers weren't as good as his Heisman winning season in 21, he still managed to pass for over 3,000 yards and 32 touchdowns while leading the Crimson Tide to a sweet Sugar Bowl victory. Stomping on K-State, was a finalist for the Manning Award, and shortly after the season concluded, would declare for the draft. The Panthers took Young number 1 overall, but had to aggressively move up to that spot in order to go get their guy, and did so by trading the number 9 overall pick and an absolute haul of other picks, along with the key piece of the trade, standout wide receiver DJ Moore, to the Bears in order to get there, which put the Panthers in the wide receiver market all throughout the draft and free agency, leading them to pick up replacement wide receiver and 9-year vet Adam Thielen on a 3-year, $25 million deal, who at his peak was in debate for being one of the best wide receivers in the league. While having multiple 1,000-yard seasons, the Panthers are hoping he can mentor other young wide receivers they acquired this offseason. The Panthers also in the second round of the 23 draft drafted Jonathan Mingo out of Ole Miss. Ole Miss has been putting out great wide receiver prospects in the past like DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, Elijah Moore, and they're hoping Mingo can join that list and develop into a prime target for Young with his 6'2", 220-pound frame. Now, while adding those pieces to the puzzle, the Panthers also picked up Hayden Hurst on a 3-year, $21 million contract and Miles Sanders on a 4-year, $25 million contract, who's coming off of a 1,200-yard season and scoring 11 touchdowns with the Eagles. And behind this young offensive line, led by Bradley Bosman, is hoping to not only open up lanes for Sanders, but make sure that Young is kept upright and not taking a beating, which has been one of his most talked about things in his game is his durability. Young's size being 5'10" and weighing about 190 pounds, not only will his shiftiness and improvisational skills help with that test of durability, but the same people are comparing him to another undersized but genius quarterback, Drew Brees. Coming out of college, both were Heisman finalists, had over 3,500 passing yards in their final 2 seasons, and both being able to process the game better than anyone on the field on any given Saturday. Even Brees himself said, "Bottom line, you turn on the film with Bryce Young and the guy's got talent. The guy makes plays, the guy throws with anticipation. He's a smart player. He knows where to go with the football. He can avoid, right? I think a lot of playing the quarterback position now is can you avoid, slide, move, buy yourself a little extra time to be able to make that play? That's the evolution of the quarterback position we're starting to see. And just looking at some of the throws he's made at Bama just prove how well he sees the game, his great processing, and how he's able to turn a 5-yard loss into a huge gain. Due to Brees' similar build coming out of college, scouts said that his size allowed for him to focus on his production as a pure quarterback. Now, if the kid can stay healthy, the organization can get some more pieces around him, and he develops over time, then Bryce Young may be running the NFC South for years to come, just like another great undersized quarterback once did.